welcome back to Meet John Doe, and I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the collaborators here, and the screenwriter here is Robert Riskin, and Riskin and Capra are kind of sort of melded. The Capra-esque really includes Riskin because he pretty much wrote, I think, every significant film except for Mr. Deeds, which had a different screenwriter who was almost kind of channeling Riskin. And you know, they developed this sort of, you know, Capricorn, people call it. It's sort of a very sentimental approach. But I think Riskin tempers Capra's homespun folksiness with some really interesting biting humor at times, or especially when it's in the hands of somebody like Barbara Stanwyck, who can really deliver a line. And what's interesting is that without Riskin, Capra became basically rudderless, and Riskin too. Riskin went on to direct some very forgettable films, and Capra never really achieved that kind of symbiosis with another screenwriter. He always seemed to be going after it, but the times had changed. Capra didn't really change, and it was really the relationship with Riskin that is so important and what gives even Meet John Doe its depth, I think.
Yeah, and you know, Capra is such a tireless self-promoter that sometimes these other important figures in the making of these films do get overshadowed by his name that is you know, listed high above the title. And I think the other person that I'd like to mention is Slavko Vorkapich, who was one of the editors for the film, who was this really interesting figure in Hollywood. He taught editing in Los Angeles and did all of those crazy montage sequences from the 30s and 40s films. He did the delirium tremens scene from The Lost Weekend, you know, as one example. And you know, many others, and they have this sort of psychedelic quality to them, and we see them, two of them in the earlier part of the film and in the later part of the film, that is sort of pure Vorkapich editing style.
And it really creates a nice little dimension here. And in fact, when I first saw Meet John Doe and I saw the circulation building for the newspaper, I was like, it was immediately, that's Citizen Kane, and there is some kind of...
Yeah, Citizen Kane is actually a reference to that sequence.
To that editor. That's great. Look out for more montage and some great screenwriting in the next segment of Meet John Doe.